right, welcome back, everybody, to another show of Flyway Connections. My name is Chris, and like always, I'm here with my buddy Joe. Joe?
Hey, how you guys doing today? So, hey, we have come full circle after our first season. This is our first episode of season 2 of the Flyway Connections. We had an awesome first season, and it was pretty exciting seeing where we've came. But like we started off last season, and the reason why we did this podcast is to highlight service members, veterans, first responders. And we have on the show again, Mr. John Perez, president of Valor and Honor Outdoors. How you doing today, John?
Hey, good, guys. It's good to be back. Pretty exciting. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. So, yeah, John, in the last year, what's been new with Valor and Honor?
Man, it's been a busy year. You know, it seems like we always stay busy. And, of course, this time of year, there's, hunting season, deer season's wrapping up in most states. Waterfowl is going hard. So, doing a lot of waterfowl stuff. But it was a busy year. COVID threw a few wrenches and things, but we kept going, and we did events all over the country. We attended events as far away as California, New York, New Jersey, and did hunts out in Kansas, Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, just all over. But we got a lot of exciting stuff going on, and I know we're going to talk about our first ever Vho Bash coming up in April. We'll talk more about that, but I'm just excited to be back with you guys. I think we kicked this thing off together last year, and you guys are famous now, so I'm honored to be here. I knew you back when, when Chris didn't know which end of back when Chris didn't know which end of a duck call to blow through. Now he's posting, solo hunts, and he's dropping, all these great birds, and now he's an expert duck hunter. So, but no, it's been great to watch, the Flyways Connection podcast kind of grow and just see some of the guests that you guys have had on. I'm really proud of what you guys have done, and thanks for the exposure that you're giving to our veterans and the first responder community. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Oh no, the pleasure's ours. I definitely wouldn't be here without help of guys like you and Stump and the Valor and Honor community there, John.
Yep. Well, we're honored to do what we do, brother.
Yeah. So, what was there any new events? I know we kind of put on this. We have our usual events. Arkansas was always good to us as usual. But was there any big new events or states you did this year that the viewers may need to know about?
Well, Kansas was a big one for us. We had a wonderful family up in Kansas that reached out and said, hey, we'd like to talk to you guys about, hosting some warriors out here on some deer hunts. And, we jumped on a plane and went out there and met with those folks, picked up a few Marines in Kansas City. And we had some Marines that were stationed out there, some Marines that were injured in combat. And so they joined us out at the ranch. We got to meet the landowners. And we had a great season out there. There's a pretty decent military presence in that area. Fort Leavenworth is there as well. And so this was, year one with us, and kind of learned the property, and got a couple kids got some nice deer out there. So that was great. So that was pretty exciting. So Kansas is a new one for us. Did a little bit in Missouri as well. Stuttgart is always a big event. We do that event around the World Championship. That's one that we do every year. We do a lot of one-off events. We're getting ready to go into our turkey season. So we do a big event in Florida every year, chasing Osceolas, and we've got a pretty neat event planned in North Carolina, but we'll do turkey hunts all over. One of our board members acquired some property in Georgia. We're starting to do some events down there. I think we'll have another hog hunt coming up here in South Carolina. I did a lot of fishing trips this year, striper or rock, the same fish, depending where you are, they call them different things. Striper. Did a lot of that. And obviously a lot of waterfowl all over the country. And we did other events. We believe in supporting any organization that's supporting our veterans and first responders. We've never been, one that says, hey, has to have our banner over it for us to be involved. So we supported the C4 Foundation, an event out in California at Coronado. We went up to New York and New Jersey. 7 VHO volunteers on their own dime went up there, and we helped help with the SEAL swim, where a bunch of folks, not just SEALs, but all kinds of first responders and military personnel swam across the Hudson in memory of 9/11. And, that was pretty amazing. So we've been all over, man, East in Maryland and events in South Carolina. It's been a busy, busy year. I'm grateful that we've got some dedicated volunteers who've helped us out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I heard, turkey, there was a big thing I saw today. Actually, today. Last year, I saw a buddy of mine. He got one of those albinos mounted. Now, question: do you guys get any of those albinos in Florida when you guys go down there?
Haven't seen, I won't tell you, I'm an old guy. I've been hunting turkeys a long time. I've never seen an albino. I've seen a few bearded hens, but never seen an albino. But I've seen some of those pictures and stuff. But Florida is famous because it's the only place you can go to get the Osceola turkey, and they're a pretty tough breed to get. We've had great success down there. We've got a great partner down there, a family that supports us and allows us to bring our veterans and first responders down there and hunt their ranch. So that's always a pretty special event. But no, I've never, Chris, I've never run into an albino turkey.
One thing, Chris, where John isn't bragging about, and I'll brag a little bit for him. Now, we do have a lot of events down there with the Osceolas, but Mr. John Perez is probably one guy that goes down there and gets the job done for the vets, guiding them in on their Osceola. I think you've had your veterans kill one every year you've been down there, John?
We've had a lot of success. Osceolas are a little bit different. I grew up hunting Osceolas, and you can't, it's in your best interest not to try to hunt them like an Eastern. So you have to, just use a few more subtle tactics, and but it works out pretty well, and it's just always an exciting time. They're not as vocal when they're on the ground as a lot of the birds are. They'll gobble up in the trees, but once they get on the ground, a lot of times they like to sneak in. So you just got to hunt them a little bit differently, but it's always a fun hunt. And sometimes we get to squeeze in a few wild boar here and there. They come walking through, and we can kind of have a mixed bag while we're down there. We always do a little bass fishing when we're down there as well.
Nice. So I know we talked a little bit about it. We kind of went into it in the beginning. So as far as Valor and Honor, is there any like really big events that you guys are pushing this here in the next couple of weeks, or is there anything going on with Valor and Honor this way so we can kind of get the word out?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we need to focus on right now is our first ever what we call the Vho Bash. We've never done a formal fundraiser since our inception. We've been incorporated over 5 years as a nonprofit. We've been doing hunts for years before that. And we've always just kind of raised money, kind of word of mouth. But, word has gotten out about what we do. Folks want to do more. We did a really cool event this year. I forgot to mention, and you guys have probably saw it on our page, but we went diving offshore for megalodon teeth. And nice. I say we, but I was just in the boat. I'm a floater, not a diver. But we had 3 SEALs and a Green Beret and a retired special operations individual out there that provided that hunt. It was underwritten by one of our board members, Jason Apple. And it was an incredible event. And, to be out there and watch these guys come up, we were about over 20 miles offshore, about 120 feet down. I think they got about 60 megalodon teeth altogether. And that was an incredible event. But to do stuff like that, costs money. And we can't do that caliber of event on a consistent basis without generous individuals supporting us. So we've had a lot of folks say, hey, can we do an event like that again? I'm like, yeah, we can. We just got to figure out how to pay for it. So, we put a lot of thought and time into the Vho Bash. We've got a great company, BW Unlimited, that we're working with to make this event as fun as possible and as productive as possible. So I would say get the word out. Let folks know. It's April 2nd in New London, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. So it's worth flying in for the event. You can fly into Charlotte and drive up to the Bash. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff there. We're still collecting a lot of the things that we're going to be selling and auctioning. But to give you, just a hint, I mean, we're going to have worldwide hunts, Argentinian dove hunts, Alaskan, African hunts. We're going to have waterfowl events. Florida Osceola turkey hunt's going to be sold and auctioned off. Whitetail hunts, some really cool tactical knives. Daniel Winkler makes an incredible knife and some hatchets. And if you know the Winkler story, they're pretty special. He started making them for the SOF community years ago, and we've got a couple of his items there. Damascus USA is going to be donating a Damascus knife, and just a lot of cool stuff. Some great guns, Glocks and Benelli SBE3, a Beretta A400, some deer rifles, and we're still going, man. We're collecting some really, really cool stuff. Some great sports memorabilia. If you're a bass angler, you know who Brent Chapman is. Brent has donated a couple signed jerseys and a hat, and that's going to be there. Remy Adeleke is a Navy SEAL that's written book and is a TV producer. He's going to donate an autographed item. So we got some other cool stuff in the works that we haven't announced yet, but a lot of good things coming. So I'd say get the word out. Tickets are $60 a person, or you get a whole table with 8 seats for $400. And some people have said, well, I can't make it to the event, but I want to sponsor a table. And what we're going to do is we're going to give those tickets to first responders and veterans and their families so they can attend. But we also have opportunities for people to underwrite items, things like the Megalodon tooth trip, dive trip. So, donations are always appreciated, but we're very, very excited about this event. And I think if you believe in what we do and you've been kind of watching for the last 5 or 6 years, we need you to step up, man. Reach out, let us know how you can help, come to the event, tell your friends about it. It's limited seating, and this isn't going to be your regular, banquet that we're all familiar with. This is a pretty special event. We got prime rib and Cornish hen. It's not, rubber chicken and stuff like that. And it's going to be a first class event, and it's limited seating. So we sold quite a few tables and tickets yesterday and today, as a matter of fact. So let us know if you want to attend before it fills up.
Oh yeah, nice. Now I still want to go back to this bash, but something's been kind of like, it didn't really click to me till like halfway your conversation. Megalodon teeth. How do you guys go about just getting megalodon teeth? They're just in the ocean somewhere. Is there a location?
Yeah. So there's a couple of locations off the eastern coast. There's a place specifically off North Carolina. There's a shelf out there. You have to know where they are. You don't just stumble on it. And but there's a deposit there that just has a ton of them, and you have to know what you're doing. We did the trip with a company called Wetsuit Scuba. Colonel Steve Oatman owns the company. He's been a great supporter of Valor and Honor Outdoors. He's a veteran himself and has done some other stuff with us. And he knows where to find them, man. If you want a great hunt, give him a call. He knows where to go, and he's got a beautiful boat. And it was just a trip to remember. And he has a World Cat boat, which is very, very stable. It's a giant catamaran. And it was a great trip. But it's pretty awesome to watch these guys pull these teeth up from down 120 feet down. And some of these teeth were almost 6 inches long. I mean, they're big teeth. I'd hate to run into that sucker when he was alive, but I think they're millions of years old. I don't know how many millions of years old, but it's pretty amazing what they pull up.
That's crazy. I was just thinking in my head, like, is there a specific location where I don't know, you find like a radar or something, but that's insane. I've seen like pictures of them. So some of them bigger than some people's hands and stuff. So
yeah.
So you said,
yeah, you gotta know where they are. Steve gets out there, you're bobbing out in the middle of the ocean there, you can't see anything. And he's like, all right, this is the spot. You're like, are you sure? And because all you guys are going down and I'm gonna be stuck on this boat by myself. I don't want, what happens if you guys don't come up? But they all came up, thank goodness. So I was a little worried for a while there.
All right, so let's go back to this bash, and I think it's amazing, and hopefully this bash just hits off, so this way Valor and Honor can just keep on just moving forward and next year making it bigger. And Joe kind of told me a little bit about it. I was pretty excited about it. Looked into it, kind of seen flyers, Instagram. We've been trying to promote it on our page as well. I don't know if you've seen that, but we're trying to and this is for the listeners, if you're trying to get out there, just kind of help, please, by all means, look up Valor and Honor Outdoors and try to see what they're doing by helping service members. And I know we kind of had a big thing with video real duck decoys, but so John, as far as the bash, so you said there's donations that they're going to be, you said food donations. What is the venue like? What is the venue like? Is there a size limit you guys are looking for? Or is it's just assuming people are to go crazy and you sell out tickets?
Well, if they go crazy, they're out of luck, because we can hold about 260 people, I believe. And it's a beautiful venue. It's on several hundred acres. It's a camp down there in New London, Camp Barnhart. And it's a great venue for the bash. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of items set up. And I forgot to mention even Dixie Decoys. They make a special edition. And Dixie Decoys is a veteran-owned company. In fact, the owner Brad is he's currently he's a major in the Marine Corps still. But they make a great decoy every Veterans Day, and this year they put aside the #1 edition for us, and that's going to be for auction there, and they're really, really cool. But we're gonna have a lot of products like that around the outskirts of the banquet hall, and we've got a live auction taking place, and raffle tickets, and just a lot of great stuff.
Okay,
and go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead, John.
No, I was just gonna. Sometimes folks say, when they look at what we do, some people just think, well, you're just taking guys hunting or fishing, and that's not what we're about. And sometimes I have to stop and remind people. So, probably 80 to 85% of our participants are active duty military. And when I say military, that's first responders as well. It's folks from the intelligence agencies, and we're well aware of that. And we don't, for everything that you see on Facebook and Instagram, there's 10 or 11 other events that we don't post because our men and women are in roles. They're in harm's way every day. They can't necessarily be filmed. And, but we're really about helping people heal from the wounds of combat and the trauma that they experience as first responders. And that's what Valor and Honor is really about. The medium that we use is hunting and fishing and getting outdoors, doing bear tours and megalodon dives. But it's just a chance to say thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do. But a chance just to let guys decompress. And, so we don't share, anything that's going to compromise the identity of individuals. But I'll tell you a quick story. Today someone contacted me. They're active military. They were wounded. A friend of theirs was also wounded, and the peers, struggling a little bit. And so they kind of shared what they would like to do. And, we're going to set up a custom event for this individual. I'm being vague on purpose, but we're going to create something individual for both of these folks. And we're going to have some Valor and Honor folks there, and we're going to show them a good time and kind of build a relationship and see if we can just kind of, help them deal with that trauma that they've been through. But that's really what we're about. The suicide rate among veterans is through the roof. And you guys know this, but a lot of people don't. But 22 guys a day are killing themselves, guys and gals. If you look at since the global war on terror started, we have lost way more folks to suicide than we have to the enemy. And so suicide is really a serious enemy for our warriors. And we got to stop that. And then the way you do that is you make sure that folks know that there are people out there that care about them, that they've got healthy venues to, express themselves and good hobbies that they can engage in. So they're not just sitting there bored. But that's a big part of what we do. The divorce rate, especially among the special ops community, is through the roof. And, we spend a lot of time with guys that are kind of, dealing with the trauma of combat and also with their marriage falling apart. And we provide a venue for them to come spend some time with their kids. And, like I think I've shared previously, our folks are active duty. So, I always remind our volunteers, this individual's here today, but next week they could be deployed, and this could be the last outing that child has with their mom or their dad. And so some of the things that we do when we have kids is, we let the kids draw pictures for their parents or make Christmas ornaments and put their handprints on it. Because in the back of our minds, we know that might be something that they look back on years from now when mom or dad is no longer here. And they can remember that outing and that time with their parents. So it's serious business. And it's why we're so passionate about what we do. The hunting and fishing, that's just fun. But it's really the relationship building that's important to us. So I always like to make sure that I mention that.
Yeah. And John, like we talked about before, this is, I've been with Valor and Honor since about 2015. Just to tell my story, why, Valor and Honor, has always hold a special place in my heart is I've seen it firsthand. I experienced it. I was one of those guys coming off my 4th deployment, spent half my 20s, overseas, and Valor and Honor Outdoors gave me an opportunity, not just a hunt. I think the first thing I got to do with Valor and Honor was with a youth hunt. I didn't even have a gun in my hands. We did a youth deer hunt. And it's just the time that you get to spend with your kids, with your family, in a stress-free environment, with other like-minded people, really helps the bonding, bonding with you, your family, with with others as well. I mean, Val and Honor, like I said, will always have a special place in my heart and my family's heart. My wife has been on events with us. John has put, Joey shot his first duck in on a Valor and Honor trip, duck hunt, North Carolina. And John was there. And I don't know if John knows this, but some of the members that are the non-military members, civilian guys that have donated and helped us out. Jesse was one of them. Remember them, John?
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, Jesse's coming to my house in a week and a half to go do duck hunt down here in Louisiana.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, even then, we've built lifetime friends, through Valor and Honor and through just the outdoor therapy it's provided for service members.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a million stories, most that we'll never tell, but the people that need to know. Just individuals that are in a crisis mode, this phone that I'm on right now, I answer it 24/7 because every once in a while you get a call and someone just kind of needs help right then and there. But I don't care where someone is in the country. If they're struggling, we're going to make some phone calls. And, the brotherhood of veterans and first responders is strong. And we can reach out anywhere and get someone help. But, it's important for the person who serves. It's important for the spouse that stays home. That is a tough freaking job, man, for these spouses that, they're two parents for, 9 to 12 months. And just when things get settled again, boom, the soldier's off on deployment again. So, we want to provide a venue for the spouses as well and for the families. But that's the most rewarding part about what we do. And, we could talk for days about some of the things that we see. One of the things I tell people all the time is sometimes these events are like relief valves or, pressure builds up in a pipe. And if you don't have a relief valve, that pipe's going to burst. And, these events in many ways are that relief valve and just lets a little of the steam out, lets a little of the pressure out. And you're not going to be able to help someone for the most part unless you have a relationship with that person. And what better way to build a relationship with someone than sitting in a duck blind or sitting in a bass boat for a day of fishing when they trust you, especially veterans. We're not the most trusting community out there. You've got to earn our trust. But when you have a relationship, they're more comfortable opening up and kind of say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. Can you help? And sometimes, it's just vets getting together or active duty people getting together and having a good time and dove hunting or bass fishing or whatever it might be. But sometimes it's a little deeper than that. And one of the biggest things that gives me great pride is that a lot of the folks that come through and participate with Valor and Honor go on to reach out to other veterans and other first responders, and they take them hunting and fishing or take them to a ball game or whatever it might be. And we don't know about a lot of that stuff. But that individual that you're working with today, you might be impacting hundreds and hundreds of lives down the road because that individual realizes that it helped them and now they want to help others. Joe's a great example. I remember the first time I met Joe. And Joe and I have been on some hunts together with some individuals that, we can tell you, they were in bad places. And the stories that we can tell you where they are now, it's been a blessing to kind of watch how outdoor therapy has really played a significant part in their lives and kind of getting them back on track. And, it's something I've coined. I call it the warrior's path, the journey to find peace and purpose. And for a lot of these guys, and gals, it's about finding peace and finding purpose. After their years in service. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what's insane is what you said. You just kind of hit it on the nail. Is so I know I did a Valor and Honor event here that Joe helped organize, and we did a couple things. We went to Honey Break, did those shots. You remember, Joe?
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite ones of the year. So I did the Honey Break.
Yeah, and then him taking me out waterfowl hunting, and I think. Once I left and I retired out of the military, came over here, I got to know some veterans here, and just out of nowhere, I felt it easier for me to offer, hey, you want to go on a hunt with me? Now, at any way, no shape or form am I an expert, but just taking somebody out there with you is really appreciated by them, and their response of really thank you, and you kind of see that, and now it's like maybe he's when he does something, whether he goes rock climbing or does some type of other hunting, but he'll offer, hey, you want to go out with me or whatever, on a whatever it may be, big game hunt, hog hunt, um, or waterfowl hunt. So that's crazy. And I didn't realize it. And I've done that probably about 3 times since I've been out here. I've took people out just out of not looking for fun, it's just looking for fun, just kind of hang out. But I met some great people that
Yeah,
way
man.
too. So yeah.
Be careful. It's addictive when you start helping others and you realize how much fun it is. I mean, I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, you cannot help someone else without helping yourself. It's absolutely impossible. Try it. And,
Yeah.
I go fishing sometimes and I'm in my bass boat by myself. I feel guilty. I'm like, man, I should have a vet out here. I should have a first. I shouldn't be out here fishing alone. And I'm picking up the phone, calling someone. I'm like, come on, jump in the boat. Let's go out. But you don't have to have a nonprofit to do this, man. I mean, if you've got, season passes to a ball game or something, you're not using them, call a vet, call a first responder, say, hey, would you like my tickets? If you're going boating or fishing and you got a spot in your boat or a spot in your deer stand, call someone, take them out. It's that community. And you never know what doors are going to open when you spend some time with that individual and realize that, that was what they really needed. And but yeah, I appreciate what you guys do to kind of bring light to our cause and our mission. And I appreciate all the support. And like I said, I'm happy to see what's going on with Flyway Connections here. And I'm very proud of what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. So let's go on. Let's kind of switch the script a little bit. Because Joe's over here, he's about to cry.
Virtual hug for Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. But so as far as we'll get into big game hunts because I still want to talk about that. But how's your waterfowl season going?
So and you know what, first, because I want to help Joe with the tears here. So Joe, don't feel bad. I heard from a vet. I heard from a vet today, and the situation was so heart touching. I'm driving down the road trying to wipe my eyes. So what we do will bring you to tears, and it really is just amazing. And you do that because you care about people. And but anyway, how's my waterfowl season going? You know what? I think I have the privilege of being involved in a lot of hunts, but I rarely get to hunt. Rarely get to hunt. And I've been out a couple times, kill a few woodies here in a local beaver swamp. Monday, I'm actually going out. North Carolina is one of the few states where you can get a tundra swan. So Chris and any veteran that's listening, get your tundra swan permit. Apply online in North Carolina. I think it's $10 or something. And you can only shoot one, but it is an amazing hunt. I got to say, they're not the smartest bird in the world. Even Joe could call one of these suckers in. But it's like, it's like shooting a B-52, man. And it's awesome. I use my 20 gauge with some Boss shells, and it's just fun to fold these birds. And we've got a bunch of Marines coming in on Monday and hunting with a buddy of ours in Hyde County. And that's a fun hunt. And so I'm looking forward to that. But I haven't done too much waterfowl hunting. And I've always said waterfowlers are just nuts. And, full disclosure, my son, Ben, is a waterfowler. He's a professional waterfowl guide. And I still say it, though. You're all nuts. Because when the weather's the worst is when the hunting's the best. And, I'm like, no, I'm staying in bed. You guys go out there all you want. But it's, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's cloudy and it's a little bit of drizzle. And I'm like, I'm not going duck hunting. So I like early season woody hunts when you're sweating and killing mosquitoes as opposed to freezing out there. But so I haven't done a whole lot, but I'm enjoying looking at everybody else's pictures. And here in North Carolina, it's really now just picking up in the last week or so. A lot of birds have started to come in, and you're seeing some, some good species come from around the state.
How has Ben doing? Oh, John, where's Boris been nowadays?
What's that?
Where's Ben at this time of the year?
Oh, so Ben, where is Ben? Ben, I believe, is in Arkansas. He's like he's a Rolling Stone. He started out in Canada and was all over. Spent a little time in Oklahoma. I don't think they were seeing a lot of birds in Oklahoma, so they brought him back to Arkansas. So he's out there chasing the geese now, the snow geese and the speckle bellies, I believe. And so that was kind of cool. Ben's been a professional guide since he was 17. He's 25 now, and it was the first Christmas he actually came home. I like to think it was to see his dad, but he's got a girlfriend, so I think it was to see her. But either way, I got to see him. So that was pretty awesome. But he's been guiding now for about 8 years professionally, and But that's where he is, and he likes to come over turkey season. Ben has told me that, if turkey season was longer, he might give up duck hunting just to call turkeys. So, Chris, if you haven't gone after turkeys yet, just beware, because it's about as addicting, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I've turkey hunting, so it's definitely addicting, and I'm glad that here in Texas we have 2 seasons. I know Louisiana only has 1, so
yeah, Louisiana's one.
That's a little rough. Yeah, and then when I went out in Louisiana turkey hunting, I was there. It was there when the 4 or 5 hurricanes hit Louisiana. It was pretty, and it just pushed everything out of as far as like land, turkeys, deer, whitetails, anything like that. So hogs.
Yeah, well, you're
comfortably.
Yeah, you're hunting hogs. You can't get rid of hogs, but you're hunting those Rios in Texas. They're not the smartest turkeys of the species, I just have to say.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Turkey calls. You can have, a trumpet, whatever. They'll gobble anything. They're interesting birds. I've killed a few of those, but it's a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun being out there.
Yeah, I'll probably do that here. Go ahead.
Yeah. How's your waterfowl season going? I saw you did your first solo hunt there and had some nice birds. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been interesting. I kind of came over here, and last podcast, me and Joe kind of talked about like what our kind of regrets that we did this season, and what we feel we need to improve on. But mine was kind of, I guess, like Joe kind of rubbed off on me, and I didn't do much scouting, and just kind of went out there and winged it. And I saw where the birds are going, and it was a little rough in the beginning, but we ended up doing pretty good. I went back down with Joe this past weekend and in Louisiana, and it was fun, but the birds have been kind of crazy this season, and Joe can kind of talk a little bit on that, but it's just, I think the weather has a lot to do with it. It's just been really warm down here. So, and like you said, we're crazy, and we like those cold fronts, and just picking those cold fronts kind of rough. And sometimes those cold fronts come when you can't go out. So, but
absolutely.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do here in the next once season ends, I'll definitely do some turkey, and then I'm gonna a friend of mine has a lease out in Breckenridge, Texas, and he told me to go out there and get some hogs whenever I want. So I'll probably go out there with a spotlight and probably hunt some hogs this season. So.
Well, that's awesome. And talking about all this duck hunting reminds me, we have a handful of those VHO Blood 410 calls left. So I don't know if you know, but every year Stump at RM Calls makes a custom run of calls for Valor and Honor Outdoors, and they're highly collectible. And we've got a handful of those left. They're not on his website, but if folks are interested, they can reach out to us on our Facebook page or call me directly. But that's a pretty amazing call. I don't know if you've seen it, but he put a lot of work into making that the red in that call just kind of mimic the color of blood, and it's memory of all our brothers and sisters that have fallen. And it's an amazing call. But we do have some of those left, and so if you're interested in those, let us know.
Yeah, I actually seen those calls, man. And Stump is amazing. I know Joe kind of told me stories about him, and he kind of, if people don't know, he makes all his calls by hand. He does it. He doesn't have anybody helping with him. He's just
everyone, absolutely, and
he's insane with it.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one of the items at the banquet is going to be a custom RM call. I don't have any inside scoop or anything. I don't know what he's doing. He's keeping it to himself.
Oh yeah, he's keeping that one tight.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Stump's custom calls, this one's going to be incredible. I don't even, I'm not allowed to blow duck calls. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but Stump and I were driving out Stuttgart one time, Arkansas, and I was getting him to try to teach me how to blow. And after like 15 minutes, he just looked at me. He said, "You know what? Not everybody gets it. Why don't you call Ben Shook and order a whistle?" So when I'm around Ben and Stump, I'm not allowed to blow a duck call, but they look great on the shelf, man. They look great.
You know what? I will tell you this, John. Me and you have a lot more in common than you think. And Joe's kind of had that same conversation with me, and I've actually gotten really good with a whistle, and he can actually vouch for it. He's like, "Hey, that's actually pretty good." So I'll take it as it is, and I'll keep blowing my whistle. I'm still killing birds with it. So
I'll tell you what, when I hunt solo, I take out that duck call and I blow the crap out of it. So I don't
Oh,
care. I still have a good time.
Oh, yeah, I'm exactly the same way. And as long as Joe's not next to me or no one's next to me, I'm good. I'm blowing that
Yeah.
because I got the Quack Ops from
Yeah.
RMC
Yeah.
I also got the Alpha. So, I guess I'm practicing on
That's awesome.
out there. So, but I definitely won't pull it out when Joe's next to me because then he gives you that look. I'm assuming Stump gives that same look when he sees you blow a duck call, but.
Yeah. I don't even, I think Ben and Stump both check me out and make sure I don't have a lanyard anywhere on me. So,
but
yeah, not even allowed to carry it.
But that's amazing. So Val and Honor, we got this bash going on, and if you guys haven't looked into it, please look into it. A lot of stuff they do, it is amazing, and just knowing firsthand. I know I don't think we've really talked about this, John, and I'm gonna go back to what we talked about, but um, me and Joe talk about this, and it is, and it could be outdoor therapy, whatever. But for me, it was waterfowl therapy, and that's what I fell in love with. Now, if you fall in love with a big game, whether hog hunting's fun if you've never done it. Um, Turkey hunted, fishing, anything like that. It's all therapy, and I think that helps a lot for service members. And like you said, and a big thing is I've lost, and this is kind of a go back into it, but what you said earlier is, you hit it on the button. You know, I, I've lost more friends from suicide than I have deployments, and it's sad because all it takes is just picking up the phone and or even reaching out to them. And I think that's why I've kind of helped me out to just reach out and call up, service members that are here, friends that I meet. Most of them I meet from the VA here in Dallas Fort Worth. So, but yeah, it's amazing. So I know we talked about the bash. Is there anything else big you guys have planned coming up this season? I know waterfowl is about to end, but I mean, there's other big hunts coming up. You said the turkey hunt. I know last season you mentioned a hog hunt. Tried to get me on. I couldn't get out there, but are you guys got anything big else planned?
We got a lot more of the same, like you mentioned. One of the things we're going to try to do this year is we've got volunteers all over. And so, if you're listening and you're a veteran or you just care about the veteran community and first responders and you want to host an event at your place, let us know. We'll walk you through it. I met with some folks today down in New Bern, North Carolina, and just brainstorm about some things that they want to do for veterans in their community. And just give them ideas and tell them what it takes to put a little, crappie fishing tournament together, or crappie, depending where you are in the country, what you call them. So I think there's sockeye down there in Louisiana, but or a bass fishing tournament or a turkey hunt. I would encourage people to do that in their own community. Another way that you can really help us if you can't come to the event, a lot of folks have vacation homes or rental homes. And if you've got a beach home or something and you're willing to give up one weekend a year, let us know. We'll find a soldier or a sailor or a Marine or a coastie, whoever it is. And, before or after deployment, let them go down there with the spouse for the weekend and just have a good time. All it's going to cost is getting the place clean when you're done, or a mountain property, anything like that. But all that stuff helps. We're just looking for venues to share with our warriors and give them some time away from the hustle bustle of military life, or being a law enforcement officer or fireman, whatever it might be. But so yeah, we're hoping to do a lot more and just partner with other groups or other individuals that want to do things in their own communities. And like I said, we'll walk you through that. We've got a liability waiver, a $2 million policy that's good all over the U.S. And so we're interested in partnering with other people that want to do things in their community. And if it's a big enough event, one of us will come there and help you coordinate it. But yeah, and we, this year we were impacted a little bit by what we could do in the schools because of COVID, but military advocacy in the schools is really, really important to us. Keeley Town is one of our board members and one of our most active volunteers. In fact, she just won an award by the American Legion in North Carolina for her involvement with schools and getting the military involved and generating that, appreciation for the military among school children. But we've got a great program where we bring the military into the schools and let the kids connect with the soldiers and the soldiers connect with the kids. And, we can help folks establish something like that in their own community. Letters from Home is kind of a little quiet program that we've run for a while, where when we go to an event, we bring cards, and everybody that comes through, we give them the opportunity to write a card to a service member who's deployed, and then we deliver those. And we just did that this Christmas. We sent cards to Bahrain. We sent cards all over the world. I personally delivered some cards to the SEAL teams up in Virginia. And, all these little things add up, and they impact our military, and they're greatly appreciated. So there's a lot of ways to help. If you're not sure how to help, pick up the phone and call me, and we'll sit down and talk together and come up with some ways that we can collaborate.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people don't know, those cards that you get from whether it be Valor and Honor Outdoors or any other organization, I mean, for some of the soldiers, I mean, they really don't have anybody, or even whether it be Marines, seamen, or airmen, or any. They really, some of them don't have anybody. So some of these cards kind of get them through the day, and it's amazing to see their faces. So I've seen it
Yep.
firsthand, and I will say, even if you want to get with Valor and Honor and want to send cards to deployed soldiers, or whatever it may be, care packages, that really does a lot more than what a lot of people think. So, and there a lot of these guys, and I was really appreciative of it. So, John, I really do. Man, this is why I think we started this and talking to Joe, and it's just going through our first year, and this is our starting of our second season. This gets me back to why we started this, and you kind of it's amazing what you're doing. I can't thank you enough. I know Joe can't thank you enough. But I really appreciate it, John, and I just wanted you to know that.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and there's no need to thank me. I'm just a volunteer along with Joe and everybody else, and we're just serving those who serve us, and it's our honor to do so.
Yeah, it's amazing. Joe, did you have anything before we wrap it up, or
are you crying again, Joe?
Oh yeah, I'm balling.
Okay, just checking.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just want to let all the viewers know that I don't talk about a lot of things that are super important to me, but like I said, Valor and Honor is their mission and what they do for veterans, and just me being part of that organization's probably up there in the top 5 things that are real important in my life, and real things that I look forward to. And like John said, for us to help these great Americans, we need other great Americans help. And if you're out there and you're wondering, hey, how could I help, or how could I support? Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to our website, go to the Valor and Honor website, and reach out. There's a lot of ways you can help, even if you don't think you can. Just get a hold of us. If it's a donation, if you're a business owner and you want to donate product or donate anything and everything, helps us put on these events for our veterans and first responders and their families. But besides that, I mean, that's all I have.
Yeah, and before we go, I mean, and Joe and John, you guys can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but John kind of spoke about it earlier. It's not just taking people out. I mean, there's ways they can connect you other ways. Where it could be whether counseling or life connections, or some type of family. I guess getting together and getting that assistant, whether you don't think you need help. I mean, I know spouses. I know my wife's been there, and she's told me to get out there. So they don't just help with getting service members outdoors. I mean, that's part of it, but there's a lot of great stuff that they also provide. And John, do you want to speak on anything before we head out?
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. Just reach out. If we don't do it, we know someone who does do it. So, I mean, even someone, getting out of the military, that can be a very stressful transition, going to civilian life, and we'll help you with your resumes. We don't charge anything for anything that we do. All these services are free of charge. We have people that are specialists in certain areas, but you know, if you're trying to get a career in a certain field and you don't really not know how to translate your military skills to civilian skills, or know where to start, let us know. We've got a lot of great folks that we work with, and we're happy to help. But when in doubt, pick up the phone and call us, and we'll be glad to partner and do what we can to support everybody out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just so the listeners know, you can reach them at valenthonoroutdoors.com. See them on Facebook, their Instagram, social media, Valor and Honor Outdoors. We follow them. We post a lot of stuff about Valor and Honor Outdoors. We also tag them in all our stuff. So if you follow us, it's almost nearly impossible to find them. We also have a hyperlink to them from our website at flywayconnections.com directly to them. So if you want to help or want to get involved, or you just want to reach out to John, I can vouch. He's 24 hours on his phone, which is it is amazing that he does, because I'd probably sleep through any phone call after 10. So
well, and if folks are interested in tickets, if they go to our website, you'll see a tab up. When you first log on our website, it's going to pop up, say the 2022 Bash. And there's a big tab there for 2022 Bash tickets, and or if you just want to make a custom donation for whatever reason, you can do that via the donate tab there as well. So, but again, I appreciate everybody's support, and I'm just saying, if you've been following us, if you believe in the mission, now's the time. We need the help. We want to make this successful, and we want to be able to continue to do what we do. We don't ever want to have to turn someone away when they call us for support, and thank the Lord, we haven't had to do that yet. So we're definitely looking for everybody's support, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, I want to thank Valor and Honor, John, and Valor and Honor Outdoors for what they do for service members, first responders, and our veterans. Thank everybody who supported us from at this point. Joe, we're blasting off our first show of our second season. First season's been crazy. It kind of went bigger than what we expected. And we just know that people are out there listening. People are out there. They're hearing what we have to say. So I want to thank everybody who is listening, and I really do appreciate it. I know Joe does too. And let's just keep on going. And again, let Valor not fail.